SBI not be selective in the disclosure of details. We intend to clarify that it shall disclose all details, including the bond numbers.
You are obstructing in the process of administration of justice.
Because the entire judgment is against behind the back of these people. Parliament has been rendered irrelevant.
That's all. That's all. We heard that. Please, that's all. You made it. We will not hear you till you follow the procedure prescribed.
We are filing it.
1 second, Mr. Wadgi. You come here after the judgment is delivered. You are now, you file an application. That's not the way.
No, I have come only in regard to 15th March. Kindly appreciate.
No, Mr.
I have no problem in declaration of the list of donors or the list of recipients.
Mr. Wadgi will not hear you right now. We have a specific application which is on board. You ask your advocate on record to follow the procedure. File an email. It will be dealt with by my registrar listing. We'll take a. No.
I am saying kindly.
If I do it for Mr. Rohatgi, senior counsel, then Mr. Rohatgi, you look at me. As Chief Justice, I have no face to tell all the other juniors to whom I declined mentioning in the morning. What's sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander.
I am not mentioning. I am not appearing in the matter and making a submission.
We have no such application on board before us.
No, I have got it with.
I've made my self.
My lord, the entire judgment has.
Second, you wait. One at a time. Sorry, Mr. Wadgi. Yes.
No, my lord, my submission is the entire judgment has been rendered behind the back of the public at large. This judgment doesn't constitute justificator. This judgment doesn't constitute justificator.
1 second.
Yes.
1 second.
This judgment is void.
Please listen to me. You are not, 1 second.
I am a citizen of this country.
1 second.
Yes.
Don't shout at me.
No, I am very soft.
Please listen to me.
Yes.
This is not a Hyde Park corner meeting, okay? You are in the court.
Yes.
You want to move an application?
No, my lord.
File an application. What I told Mr. Rodgi applies to you.
No, my lord, the question is, my lord.
There is no question. You've got.
My friend has come.
Mr. Nedumbara, 1 second.
Yes.
You've got my decision as Chief Justice. We are not hearing you. If you want to file an application, move it on the email. That's the rule in this court. No further.
We will go by what your lordship.
All, please.
Whatever your lordship says, we will go by that.
Do you want another contempt notice?
No, my lord, your lordship will go by
You have
whatever
had
your
enough
lordship
to
says.
Bombay.
Only I have said what I wanted to say. That this judgment is rendered behind the back of the people of this country. It doesn't bind us. It doesn't constitute. It is not a representative.
Do not, please, once we have said no, please move the application by email.
What your lordship says.
Do not continue and persist.
Yes. I only said it was not a representative proceeding.
You are
All the way coming from Kerala.
You are obstructing in the administration of justice.
Hello, my lord.
You are obstructing in the process of administration of justice.
The entire judgment is against behind the back of these people. Parliament has been rendered irrelevant.
That's all. That's all. We heard that. Please, that's all. You made it. We will not hear you till you follow the procedure prescribed.
We are filing it.
Please do.
We are filing it.
Please do. We'll consider it afterwards.
That's
That's
it.
it.
10 o'clock. My friend came from Kerala to took a 1 o'clock flight. Be kind to us. Be kind to
That's
us.
all, please. We will not hear that.
Democracy.
Please call for the application. Please follow the application.
Democracy.
My lord, may I mention, my lord, my petition for suo motu that is pending. Whatever lordship want to do, that do only. I will not disturb lordship.
Mr. Agarwala, apart from being a senior counsel, you are the president of the SCBA.
Yeah.
You should know the procedure. You have written a letter to me asking me to invoke my suo motu jurisdiction.
Yes, yes, my lord.
No locus to mention
So
anything.
that I should not disturb lordship. We should not waste the honorable time, court's time. That's why.
Lord,
Only that.
These are all publicity-oriented stunts. We will not permit it.
Not a handmaid of a.
Whatever lordship feel better.
Mr. Agarwala, please keep it at that. I may have to say something more, which will be perhaps a little distasteful. Please close it.
It is enough now.
Senior to your
It
lordship.
is enough.
64-year-old man, Lord.
Be kind to us. We are very polite and begging with your lordship. Your lordship has a soft language.
Supra, we have been telling you that you are interfering, you are obstructing us.
No.
Now,
Look at me, sir.
if you don't stop, we will have to.
When we are not heard and we feel threatened. Sorry, Lord.
Follow the line.
Yes, Pala. Yes, telling now. We should notice on the last occasion to State Bank of India. Mr. Kapoor, you are appearing? You are appearing
Mr. Salve is also there.
for the State Bank?
That's right.
Yes.
But I appear for the State Bank.
Yes. Mr. Salve, in our order which we, in the judgment which we delivered, we had expressly asked State Bank of India to disclose all details. The language of the judgment was all details have to be disclosed. Therefore, that includes the bond numbers as well. So, let SBI not be selective in the disclosure of details. We intend to clarify that it shall disclose all details, including the bond numbers, and every part of the information which is in its possession and custody. Don't wait for an order of the court. We banked on the fact that the State Bank of India would be candid and fair to the court.
Malad, whatever your lordship say, if your lordship say bond numbers, you can disclose the bond number. There's no problem. Somebody can screen them.
Why has the SBI not disclosed?
I wanted to, Malad, tell Malad how we understood your lordship's judgment. Give me 5 minutes. Only to explain our conduct. We'll, of course, if your lordship say give anything more, everything will be given, but there's no question.
SBI's attitude appears to be, you tell us to disclose a particular detail and we'll disclose it. That's not fair process.
How we understood.
This is the judgment of the Supreme Court. As chairman of the State Bank of India, I'm duty bound to comply with the judgment. I will disclose every part of the information which is in my custody as directed by the Supreme Court. Because when we said all details of the purchases, that means every conceivable detail which is available with State Bank of India. And we clarified by saying including. That should be, State Bank of India has the best legal advice open to it.
May I not take your lordship through the 3 orders to how we understood them? My lord, your lordship's first order was 12th April 2019. And we have, for convenience, my lord, we have put the 3 orders together. If your lordship just see that. We'll give everything, there's no question. Just to explain that it's not that the impression which is being created, my lord, is that State Bank of India has been playing ducks and drakes with the court. I just wanted to clear that up. Would be to require all political parties who have received donation through the electoral bonds to submit to the Election Commission of India and seal cover detailed particulars of the donors against each bond. The amount of each such bond and the full particulars of the credit received against each such bond, namely the particulars of the bank account to which the amount had been credited and the date of each such credit. So, my lord, your lordships felt this would ensure transparency, that you give all this, but you keep it in a sealed cover. So, my lord, a political party doesn't need bond number. If a political party comes and says, I have received so much from so and so, that gives the requisite details.
We take it you're not arguing a case for a political party, right?
No. On the contrary, I'm saying the reverse. I'm so sorry, I'm saying the reverse. But if a political...
Para 16, Mr. Salve, was relating to the political parties who had to submit the data to the Election Commission.
Correct, and they have. And this has...
No, that's a separate issue. Whatever they have declared or not declared, that's a separate issue. But as far as the judgment of this court is concerned, because you were supposed to...
I'm coming in a minute. If your lordship will just give me 1 minute how we understood it. Para 16, as my lord has therefore noticed, only required the political parties to give all these details. And these details have been given, or if they have not been given, that's between the ECI and the political parties. As my lord the Chief Justice said, I'm not preparing for a political party. Then, my lord, para 17 was the mechanism. Your lordship said details will be furnished in respect of electoral bonds, the details of such bonds that may be received by a political party. Up to a date for issuing such bonds as per the ministry, that is February 19, will be submitted on or before 3rd of May 19. The sealed covers will remain in the custody of the ECI. So, my lord, we had no role to play. Your lordships had put this mechanism in place. In your lordship's judgment, your lordships dealt with the diverse aspects, including the need to preserve some degree of anonymity, and your lordships will not mark that in para 125, where your lordships discuss the electoral trust as an alternative to this system. And in the conclusions, which are at para 218, if your lordships have the compilation, would be PDF page 76. So, according to us, the data...
Mr. Salve, I have a few questions. First, tell us in what format is the data on the purchase and redemption of electoral bonds stored by the SBI?
So, my lord, as I had explained in the application which we filed, because at that time we were functioning under the edict of anonymity, which had not been stayed. So, at that time we were directed to preserve anonymity, including we had to take measures that within the bank.
What is the format in which you maintain the data on purchase and redemption of electoral bonds? In what format do you store
In two
it?
silos. Your lordship noticed that in the next order. So the data is maintained in two
You store
silos.
it in 3 silos. From your application, it emerges now that you do it in 3 silos. The first silo is the bond number. The
Bond
second
number is
silo
only on the bond.
purchase, and the third is the redemption.
My lord, bond number is only on the bond, and it is cannot be read except through under a UV light. That was only done, my lord, like authentication, like because it was a bearer bond. That's what was sought to be.
What's the purpose of the alpha? And second question, what is the purpose of the alphanumeric?
The alphanumeric is the bond number which is visible only under a UV light.
Is it only a security feature, or is
The security feature entirely.
in the audit trail? You also
No, my lord, audit trail is separate. That's why we do the entire KYC. In the KYC, we have a bond unique number. It's not the bond number. You have a marker number of a client.
Third question:
Yes.
How does the redeeming branch?
Yes.
How does the redeeming branch
Yes.
match the electoral bond number to determine that it is not a forged bond?
So they were not. That's what I'm saying. When they received it, the person encashing it gets it. He sees that it's a valid bond because you see the security feature. You don't keep a record of it. The physical inspection.
While redeeming it,
Yeah.
the only way you can ensure that it is not a forged bond is to match the alphanumeric. Without
There's nothing to match. It's like seeing a currency note. It's like seeing a currency note. You know that's
the
a currency note.
alphanumeric.
Yeah. But
Cashed in the last 15 days because it's only valid for 15 days. So therefore, they will have to also match when was this bond.
I think Mr. Bhushan should hold his peace for a minute.
Fourth, what is the information that you see when you scan the alphanumeric?
Malad, you see a
All
number.
the details of the purchaser and the bank which issued the bond when you scan the bond?
No. That's what I'm saying. That correlation was not kept for the reason it's like this. Mr. A or Mr. B come and buy the bond. So they go to branch A. They do the entire KYC information is done. Their bank account details, etc., everything is done. That is silo 1, if one may so call it, which is not in your lordship's order. That's been fully disclosed. That bond finds its way into the hands of some political party. We don't know who gives it, how it goes, how many hands it changes. It finds its way in the. We next get to see the bond when somebody comes and says.
Mr. Salve, assuming that you construed our order based on the interim order merged with the final judgment of our court.
But even in the final judgment.
Say that we will interpret our final directions in the light of the interim order, which has merged with the final judgment.
Malad, your lordships.
All details.
That's why we came to my lord.
Mr. Salve will clarify to put it beyond any.
No problem. No problem at all.
We will say that now SBI will not only disclose the bond numbers, but it shall also file an affidavit again before our court saying that you have not suppressed any, you will not withhold any details in regard to this within the purview of clause B and C of para 221.
Correct. I don't think there's anything else which remains. But
Details, you have to disclose all details. Let there be no, because the burden should not lie upon the court or the petitioners who say, but this one has not been disclosed. But now this has not been disclosed.
Now we'll disclose it, Malad, whatever.
We must have finality to it.
Yes, we'll do it, Malad. There's no problem. Just that this constant, Malad, the media constant beating down and the petitioners giving public interviews saying, we will take the state bank to task and we will show this and we will haul them up for contempt, etc. But we are also public institutions working in this space. And it's all right. People acted on the faith of this. Your lordships granted an interim order saying keep records. It wasn't at that time, Malad, subject to correction. I didn't find any order which says all further actions will be subject to the judgment or something. There was no such direction. Your lordships were at that balancing interim order. Now, whether completely you should lift the privacy or remove anonymity, better your lordships will